Welcome to Transforming Education with Edvantia. I'm Tony Marchese. Today, the title of our program is School Improvement, the Power of Performance Coaching. And with me, I have two guests. I have Dr. Stephen Moats with Edvantia, who is the director of our Tennessee Exemplary Educators Program, and also Edna Young, who is serving as an exemplary educator and in Tennessee. I'd like to start by talking about why coaches today are working. And I know that has to do with the No Child Left Behind law. And the law says that every school must help students improve by a certain amount every year until the year 2014, when we hope all students will have test scores showing that they've mastered the material for their respective grade level. And Steve, what does that mean for an individual school?
Well, I think it means a lot, Tony, because No Child Left Behind is a very high-stakes accountability piece of legislation. As you mentioned in your introduction, I think the most significant challenge for schools is the fact that it is about all children. And the standard is not just as a whole school, but the school must look at individual subgroups to ensure that every child is getting the kind of instruction and the kind of help that moves them toward the 2014 benchmark of 100% proficiency. That in itself is a great task when you look at how significant instructional strategies must be directed towards special population groups that we sometimes consider at risk, such as those children who are in poverty, also known as economically disadvantaged, or even those that have special needs.
One of the things that I often hear is that schools want to stay off the list. What's the list?
So I think when we're talking about the list, it's actually the list of schools within states that have not made AYP or met the benchmarks according to the state and federal standards. And so when we think about the list generally is about those that are not making adequate yearly progress. And fondly or not, I think most people have started referring to the list as a bad thing when you come out on this list, and that means your school is just not meeting the standards for student achievement.
One of the things that I know that Edvantia has been doing, it's been partnering with states to train coaches since 2000. Mm-hmm. And I know that various states have different titles for these coaches. And in West Virginia, I know that the coaches are called, they work to close the achievement gap. Mm-hmm. And then I know in Tennessee, ours are called Tennessee Exemplary Educators. So the Tennessee program's been operating since 2001. When the first coaches went into low-performing schools. Sometimes these schools or these coaches also worked at the district level, correct?
That's correct.
And does that look different?
Well, it looks different in that at the district level, people are concerned about a number of schools instead of working at a school site where an individual like Edna would be working with the teachers and the principal of that school. At the district level, you're going to be working with a variety of different people with different responsibilities across the district. And the real issue there is that districts go on the list not because of district data, but because of school level data. Students, all of the data that is collected on student achievement at the school level bubbles up to the district level. And so it's very important for the district staff to have a sense of what's going on across their district and in each school, because eventually if schools fail to meet standards for specific groups of kids or for the entire population, it will impact the district. And what we're seeing as we have progressed over time with No Child Left Behind is the status of districts changing because of failure rates at the school level. So at the district level, they need to be very concerned not only about whole school, but especially at subpopulations in schools where there may not be enough students at the school level. For example, NCLB gives all states the affordability to determine what their base count for each subgroup population and accountability would be. In Tennessee, that end count is 45. So for subgroups to count at the school level, schools have to have 45 of those students in each one of those subgroups. If they do not have, for example, let's say in economically disadvantaged, if they had less than 45 students, that number would automatically count toward the district and not at the school level. So it's very significant at the district level, and more so as we move toward 2014.